Hi, this is Joanne. I'm from Liberty Lake Library, and this is my daughter Brooke. Today we are going to show you how to make a basic slime. And Brooke has prepared some ahead of time.
This is a foam ball slime, but today we are not going to be making that. We are making a plain, just a normal slime, a basic slime.
Exactly. And some of the ingredients that you're going to need for slime, of course, is glue. We tend to use the Elmer's white glue. I find that the white glue is actually easier to use, has a better consistency than clear glue. Some people like the clear glue, especially if you're using glitter. But I just find it makes it sometimes a little stringy, sometimes a little tough.
Definitely.
So like I said, if you want a good consistency with your slime, stick with the white glue.
Especially if this is your first time.
Exactly. What other ingredients are we going to be using today?
Borax. This is a part of our activator. So we will mix this with some water and then that'll turn the glue into slime.
Okay. And as Brooke said, it's an activator, but you can use other activators. Some people prefer to use contact lens solutions. Some people use liquid starch. You can also use
Tide.
And cornstarch, you said. Is that correct?
I think so.
We'll get back to you on that. Okay, but like I said, the reason I use borax is because, as you can see, it comes in a pretty big box, and you only need 1 tablespoon to 1 cup of water, so it lasts a long time. You can make lots and lots of slime with that. Other things you can use, but you don't have to. Obviously, if you have it in your house, you can. Food coloring.
We only have blue.
We have blue. But any food coloring will do. One thing to note is you only need a couple of drops of food coloring, and if you have little kids who are doing this, they could wear gloves just so they don't get food coloring all over their hands.
Also, essential oil. You don't need to use this, but it makes a nice scent, and you definitely want to use like 1 drop if you are going to use this.
And the only one we have today is lemon, so it would be a nice lemony fresh slime. Other things you can use, but we are not going to use today, are, as we said, these little foam balls. Some people put them in, and it is often called crunchy slime because it makes a crunchy noise, and it's kind of fun. But Miss Delane at the library can attest to this. If you use those little foam balls, expect to see them a week, a month, possibly a year later. Those things come out of slime and they're really hard to get up. So I caution you, just be warned. Other things that you could use, but again, we're not using today, are glitter. And then we have these little packets. We actually got a slime kit at one point, and they have these little, I'm going to zoom in a bit, these little cute things you can add to your slime. They're like little apple slices and cupcakes and flowers and all sorts of cute little things. They often have seasonal things like little Santas and snowflakes.
Yeah, these kind of look like peppermints, so if you're doing a Christmas thing, that could work.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is add some glue to our bowl. So we're going to use a 1/2 cup, and we've already measured that out. So 1/2 cup of white glue. And go ahead and use the spoon to just kind of get the rest of that out. Don't worry about using any of your household items here. I'm using, cups. As long as this is all water soluble, so as long as you just clean it out with soap and water, put it in the dishwasher, you're good to go. Okay, so there's our glue. And then if you are using food coloring, this is the time to add a couple drops.
Today we are.
And I'm gonna kind of take a look and see.
So for 1/2 cup of glue, you're gonna use about 2 drops.
Okay.
You can use more to make it darker and less to make it lighter, obviously, but this is a good place to start.
All right, that is a pretty good color.
Yep.
Okay, so we're just gonna stir that in.
Yep.
Okay, and again, if you want to add scent, now would be the time to just put a drop of your essential oil.
Should I do that?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to use a little bit of lemon.
If you want to be very careful, I would use a little dropper or a pipette.
So I just use a tiny bit of that because it can go a long way.
Okay, so just going to stir all that together.
Mix that in. Okay, that's mixed in. And now if we're going to add these, then you could do that now or after your slime is actually activated, but we're not going to be using those today.
And the quantity you need for those, it's really, depending on your choice. You can put as many or as few in as you like.
Okay, so now we're going to work on the activator. For this, I'm going to be using 1 cup of water, and I'm just going to put that into this glass here. And then just 1 tablespoon of borax.
Okay.
Just get that there.
Okay, and then you just want to stir it up so it kind of dissolves. There'll probably be a few little grains on the bottom, but it will eventually dissolve. Okay, and that really is all you need.
Yes. And then now you can add this 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons at a time. I prefer 2 at the beginning just to get it really activated since it's just
All right, I'm going to take a look inside the bowl to see what is happening.
Just going to put the activator in and stir it around.
Okay.
And basically this is just thickening it up, and eventually it'll completely come off of the sides. And then that's when you start using your hands to mix it.
Yeah, at this point it's still a little too sticky, but you can see it's already starting to clump up and become slime.
More one ball here.
Now this is the point though where you, if you've just added 2 tablespoons, you really want to now just add 1 at a time because you don't want to get your slime to be too tough too soon.
You also don't want to add it in just yet. You want to mix it around first so it covers the whole thing, or else it could lead to clumpiness or lumps in your slime.
And no one wants lumpy slime.
No. So you're just going to mix it around for a bit.
All right, looking good.
And then now I'm going to add actually just half a tablespoon, just to be extra careful. Right there.
Just some tips as we're stirring this up and making it become a good slime. If you find that your slime is too tough, you've put too much activator in, do not panic. There are a couple of things you can do. One, you could add a little bit of water and just kind of, let it soak a bit. It should lessen, that toughness. Yes. The other thing you could do, I've been told, although I haven't really used it myself, is you can add moisturizer, like a hand moisturizer to it, and that should help too. And then the other, this is a foolproof method. You can actually just put it aside, put it in a Tupperware, leave it for a couple of days, and it will just naturally soften. On the flip side, if you've had your slime, it's good, but then after a couple of days you notice that it is too soft and it's sticky, add a little bit more activator, and it's good to go again.
Yes.
Okay,
so
how are we doing now?
Right now I'm going to add another half a tablespoon, and then after that I will mix it in, and then I will dip my hands in the activator and start working it with my hands.
That is an important thing to remember. As soon as you think you're going to start using your hands, just cover your hands in activator. Just aside from adding a little bit more activator to the slime, it prevents it from getting all over your hands and sticking to everything. So.
Yes, which is very helpful. So I'm just going to rub that on my hands and then pick it up. It's going to feel a little gross, a little slimy, but eventually it'll turn very fun.
And I'm sure there are plenty of people who are like, yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Gross, slimy, and disgusting.
So then you're just going to mix it in and then gradually add more and more activator.
Okay.
Add more.
And again, don't worry about your bowls. That is just water soluble. You can just pop it in the sink with some warm water and some soap, and it will come right out.
I'm going to put my spoon aside and continue mixing it.
Yeah, and as you can see, she's got a lot of slime on her fingers. She can just put a little bit of activator on her fingers and it will come right off. It's not a big deal. Just one thing to know, when you're doing this, try not to wear anything that you are really, you really care about. Although it's going to come off in the wash, you don't want to have a bunch of sticky slime all over your clothes. So it's just an old t-shirt or an apron if you have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although it's not going, it might that's just really for emergencies. Yes.
Okay, it's looking pretty
you can already
good.
see that it is stretchy and it's not sticking as much to my hands. Like I can poke it and it'll come off.
Okay, and so how many tablespoons of activator did we have, do you think?
I would say 3, 4, maybe 5.
Okay, and then we're just putting a
5
little
to
more
6.
in.
That was just half, so.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 to 6 tablespoons should work. But if you need more, it really depends on what you want. Some people like their slime more sticky, and some people like theirs completely like not sticky at all. So it's already coming off my hands.
Yep, look at that.
Than before,
Clean again.
so.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of give it a little whirl, see how stretchy that is.
Some slimes like this one need to be stretched a little bit slower, but it's still quite stretchy and it's not even breaking.
Exactly. So. And like I said, if you notice your slime is just way too tough, try one of those methods I suggested. If it's too sticky, just add a tiny little bit more activator and you will be good to go. Okay, and that is it. It's pretty simple. Like I said, you don't need too many things. Most of the people have you know, these ingredients around the house already. And in the next few days and over the coming weeks, we'll be adding more videos. We'll be showing you how to make paper flowers, how to bake sunbread, and all sorts of other cool things. So we hope to see you then. Thanks for listening and have a good one.